that like because of our past life, how we are, I think we get attracted in this life to Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, yeah, we were reading yesterday where Arjuna is asking about the unsuccessful yogi, one who begins the yogic practice, one begins Krishna consciousness but is not able to complete it. So we heard, does anyone remember what happens? What's the destination of one who just begins and just does
I wasn't there.
devotional service for some time? No, anyone else? Devotional service for some time and
I think they are given a chance to born again in either Vaishnava's family or aristocratic family.
yeah, but before that, what happens to them?
Before that, mm, I think for the short time,
Yeah, it's for the short
I think
time.
for the
They
short,
first,
they,
yeah, they go on the higher planet.
wasn't that
Yeah,
for
they
They
enjoy
go
the
to the,
heavenly planet,
yeah,
and when they are that it's over, then they come back to the earth. No, then
yeah. So one
their
who's
karmas
done,
are over.
yeah, one who's done for a short time, they go to the higher planets, enjoy there for enjoy over there where the pious living entities are, then come back to this earth and then born in righteous Brahmana family, Vaishnava family, or a business family. And what about the one who's done practice for a long time?
they are
They are,
directly born in.
yeah, in the
They are born
family
in
of
the family of,
acharyas,
yeah.
and they
Of
start
great
meditating very early, like
transcendentalists.
from day one.
Yeah, they start the practice of bhakti yoga or whichever practice they have been doing from very divine consciousness. Yeah. So of course one who is Krishna conscious, as we see in the case of Bharat Maharaj, he remembered his past birth. He remembered how much
Um,
he had already. I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, he was in Krishna consciousness, but I think during the time of death, he was very fond of baby deer. Is it that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So he got
a deer's.
distracted.
Yeah,
He got
yeah.
distracted. So no, but then he continued. He continued with his devotional service. And then here in this verse, Krishna is saying that, one who is Krishna conscious, then they don't get attracted to the rituals because means they've already done all these rituals in the past life. All the Vedic rituals are already done because chanting the holy names is on a spiritual platform. Bhagavatam is saying that one who's chanting the holy name means they've done all these rituals, they've done all the austerities, gone to all the sacred places, bathed over there, you know, studied the Vedas. Because the essence of the Vedas is to chant Hare Krishna, right? To understand Krishna. So it means they've done all that. Okay. Any comments, question?
No, all clear.
Okay. Then we'll go on to the next one.
Yeah. I'll read. Text 45. Prayatnat yatamanastu yogi shamshuda kilbishah aneka janma samshidas tato yati param gatim. Translation. And when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all the contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. purport. A person born in particular righteous, aristocratic, or sacred family becomes conscious of his favorable condition for executing yoga practice. With determination, therefore, he begins his unfinished task, and thus he completely cleanses himself of all material contaminations. When he is finally free from all contaminations, he attains the supreme perfection, Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the perfect stage of being freed of all contaminations. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.28. Yesham tva antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam vrataha. After many, many births of executing pious activities, when one is completely freed from all contaminations and from all illusory duality, one becomes engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Beautiful.
So then what the devotee, what he goes on, what happens?
He continues with his further progress where he may have stopped. He gets attracted to doing the devotional service, and he washes up all the contaminations. And then he gradually progresses towards transcendental loving service of the Lord.
Yeah, so what is this stage, freed of all contamination? What is the contamination?
Sense gratification.
Yeah, that's right. That we are thinking we are the body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because we think we are the body, we have material desires, we have sense gratification. So then what does it mean being freed of all contamination? What does he understand then finally?
Attains liberation.
Attains liberation. Yeah. And what
Perfection.
is his consciousness?
Like everything is for Krishna.
That's right. He's understood, I'm servant of Krishna. And then because he's understood this, he's very determined to engage in devotional service then. Okay. So we can see actually that bhakti is the only way to be completely free of all contaminations, because other processes one may begin with the process of jnana or dhyan, and those processes, yes, and then one has to come to bhakti to be able to clean off all the contaminations, to completely understand our true reality. Okay, we'll go on.
तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी ज्ञानी भयोऽपि मतोऽधिका कर्मी भयश्चाधिको योगी तस्मात् योगी भवार्जुना. Translation: a yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empirist, and greater than the fruitive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. When we speak of yoga, we refer to linking our consciousness with the Supreme Absolute Truth. Such a process is named differently by various practitioners in terms of the particular method adopted. When the linking process is predominantly in fruitive activities, it is called karma yoga. When it is predominantly empirical, it is called jnana yoga. And when it is predominantly in a devotional relationship with the Supreme Lord, it is called bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness is the ultimate perfection of all yogas, as will be explained in the next verse. The Lord has confirmed here in the superiority of yoga, but he has not mentioned that it is better than bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is full spiritual knowledge, and therefore nothing can excel it. Asceticism without self-knowledge is imperfect. Empiric knowledge without surrender to the Supreme Lord is also imperfect. And fruitive work without Krishna consciousness is a waste of time. Therefore, the most highly praised form of yoga performance mentioned here is Bhakti Yoga, and there is still more clear, and this is still more clearly explained in the next verse.
Mm. So, what do we understand by this? What is yoga?
Bhakti Yoga is the highest form.
Yeah,
Yoga is union with the Lord.
yeah. And then there are different processes, right?
Yeah.
What are those?
Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah, and also dhyan.
Dhyan Yoga.
Dhyan is also there. Ashtanga or dhyan, Ashtanga. And then there is bhakti. So, because contamination is not completely gone off in Gyan and Dhyan, then gradually, although one may adopt these processes, ultimately one has to come to bhakti then. You know, it's like a yoga ladder that Krishna speaks of. And karma yoga, of course, that is not even, that's completely material because one is still trying to karmakand, what we call karmakand, because one is still trying to enjoy, do pious activities to get pious results, to be able to enjoy more. Okay. Questions? Any question?
No.
Okay. Would somebody like to read the next one?
Yeah, I'll read. Text 47. Yoginam api sarvesham mat gatinantar atmana shraddhavan bhajate jo mam tame yukta tamo mata. Translation. And of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Purport. The word bhajate is significant here. Bhajate has its root in the verb bhaj, which is used when there is no need of service. The English word worship cannot be used in the same sense as bhaj. Worship means to adore or to show respect and honor to the worthy one. But service with love and faith is specially meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can avoid worshipping a respectable man or a demigod and may be called discourteous, but one cannot avoid serving the Supreme Lord without being thoroughly condemned. Every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus every living entity is intended to serve the Supreme Lord by his own constitution. Failing to do this, he falls down. The Bhagavatam 11.5.3 confirms this as follows. Ya esham purusham saktat atma prabhavan ishwaram na bhajanti avajananti tanat vratasa brashta patani adha. Anyone who does not render service and neglects his duty unto the primeval Lord, who is the source of all living entities, will certainly fall down from its constitutional position. In this verse, also the word bhajanti is used. Therefore, bhajanti is applicable to the Supreme Lord only, whereas the term worship can be applied to demigods or to any other common living entity. The word avajananti used in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is also found in the Bhagavad Gita. Avajananti mam mudha. Only the fools and rascals deride the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Such fools take it upon themselves to write commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita without an attitude of service to the Lord. Consequently, they cannot properly distinguish between the word bhajanti and the word worship. The culmination of all kinds of yoga practices lies in bhakti yoga. All other yogas are but means to come to the point of bhakti in bhakti yoga. Yoga actually means bhakti yoga. All other yogas are progressions toward the destination of bhakti yoga. From the beginning of karma yoga to the end of bhakti yoga is a long way to self realization. Karma yoga without fruitive results is the beginning of this path. When karma yoga increases in knowledge and renunciation, the stage is called Gyan yoga. When Gyan yoga increases in meditation on the super soul by different physical processes and the mind is on him, it is called Ashtanga yoga. And when one surpasses the Ashtanga yoga and comes to the point of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, it is called Bhakti yoga, the culmination. Factually, Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal, but to analyze Bhakti Yoga minutely, one has to understand these are the yogas. The yogi who is progressive is therefore on the true path of eternal good fortune. One who sticks to a particular point and does not make further progress is called by that particular name. Karma Yoga, Gyan Yogi, or Dhyana Yogi, Raj Yogi, Hatha Yogi, etc. If one is fortunate enough to come to the point of Bhakti Yoga, it is to be understood that he has surpassed all the other yogas. Therefore, to become Krishna conscious is the highest stage of yoga. Just as when we speak of Himalayan, we refer to the world's highest mountain, of which the highest peak, Mount Everest, is considered to be the culmination. It is by great fortune that one comes to Krishna consciousness on the path of Bhakti Yoga to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. The ideal yogi concentrates his attention on Krishna, who's called Shyama Sundara, who's as beautiful colored as a cloud, whose lotus like face is as effulgent as the sun, whose dress is brilliant with jewels, and whose body is flower garlanded, illuminating all sides with its gorgeous luster, which is called the Brahma Jyotir. He incarnates in different forms such as Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he descends like a human being as the son of Mother Yashoda. And he is known as Krishna, Govinda, and Vasudeva. He is the perfect child, husband, friend, and master, and he is full with all opulences and transcendental qualities. If one remains fully conscious of these features of the Lord, he is called the highest yogi. The stage of highest perfection in yoga can be attained only by bhakti yoga, as is confirmed in all the Vedic literature. Yasya deve para bhaktir, yatha deve tatha guru, tasyate katita artaha prakashante mahatmana. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. Shwetaswara Upanishad 6.23. Bhaktir asya bhajanam tat ihamut ihamutropadi nairashayanam musmin manaha kalpanam edat eva naishkarmayam. Bhakti means devotional service to the Lord, which is free from desire for material profit, either in this life or in the next. Devoid of such inclinations, one should fully absorb the mind in the Supreme. That is the purpose of Neshkarmya. Gopalatapani Upanishad 1.15. These are some of the means for performance of bhakti or Krishna consciousness, the highest perfection stage of the yoga system. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the sixth chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of Dhyana Yoga.
Hmm. So what is Krishna saying here? Who's the highest yogi?
One who is in Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah, one who is bhakti yoga, one who's doing bhakti. What does bhajate mean?
One who
Because Bhajate
understands the
means
God, Supreme Personality of God.
I'm sorry. Bhajate, what is it?
One who understands and meditates on God, Supreme Lord.
Understand and meditates. Serving God with love and faith.
Yeah.
That is bhajate. Mhm. So because we may worship, we can't use worship because bhaja can only be used for Krishna, for God. Bhaja cannot be used even for a demigod or a respectable man. You know, we worship somebody who's in power, who's greater than us. We adore them, kind of. But for the Supreme Lord, bhaja is only for Supreme Lord because it's serving with love and faith. There's service involved there. What happens, one may worship the demigods, but there may not be some service involved. It may be more like a business exchange. I'm going to worship you because I need this from you. Or to a big important man, one may worship him to get some favor from him. But bhaja is for Krishna, where one is serving Krishna with love, serving Krishna with faith. So this is what we are trying to understand. And then it is a duty of every living entity to serve Krishna. It's our duty because we are his part and parcel. So Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that one may neglect to, or not neglect, one may avoid worshipping a demigod or a big man or respectable man. But one cannot avoid serving Krishna. If one avoids serving Krishna, means one is not doing his duty. Because it's everyone's duty to serve Krishna, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. That's our constitutional position. Jivara Swarupaya Krishna Nitya Das. Our constitutional position. So one may say, but I don't like this word serve. Serve means being menial, being exploited. But we have to understand that service comes when we love someone. It's a loving exchange. It's Krishna is serving the devotee, devotee is serving Krishna. In the material sense, we don't like to hear serving somebody, that I have to hear somebody. But on the spiritual platform, it's the highest platform. Serving with love. Service is a symptom of love. So here Bhagavatam, Prabhupada is quoting Bhagavatam that one who does not render service to Krishna is not doing his duty. So it's our duty to engage in devotional service. As we say, it's my duty to do this and my duty to do this. But what's the highest duty? Highest duty is to serve Krishna. Because then we are not doing our actual duty, real duty, if we are not serving Krishna. So, and here Prabhupada is mentioning of the yoga ladder, how Krishna is speaking of the different stages. First he begins with karma kand, doing certain sacrifices for demigods. So what is happening? One may do these certain sacrifices, one may get a lot of riches, more opulence, do more sense gratification. But one may come to understand that I'm not feeling happy. I already have so much. I'm getting so much. I did so much pious activity and I got so much pious result. Because of that, I have a lot of opulence. I have a lot of ways to engage in devotional service, but somehow I don't feel satisfied. So then one may begin his search after the truth. And while doing this kind of sacrifices, one may begin hearing from the Brahman who's doing the sacrifice. The Brahman may tell him, you're doing so much of this sacrifice, but it's all temporary. It's only going to give you temporary material benefit, which is so temporary. And after all, we are not the body, we are the soul. So then one may begin Gyan. So from Karma Kand, one may begin Gyan then, because he's gotten some knowledge then. So then he continues with this knowledge and tries to contemplate more. So what may happen is, with continuing with this knowledge, one may either think, oh, I am that supreme soul, I am Brahman, I am also the Para-Brahman. But if one really goes ahead and does proper research, one will understand, oh, I am a soul, but I'm not the super soul. I am Brahman, but there is the Parabrahman, the Supreme Brahman is there. And so like this, one may then increase his meditation. So from Gyan, then one will come on Dhyan, will understand, oh, there's a super soul in me. So he may begin the meditation on the super soul. And then when one is really understood it, so that's coming to Dhyan Yoga. And then when one has completely understood it, then one may come to understand, oh, I am the soul, there's a super soul, and it is my duty to serve the super soul. Yeah, then that is coming to bhakti. When one understands, I have to serve God. I'm sorry. So then comes to bhakti. So we can see that in bhakti, all are included. Karma, the result of all is included. Result of karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyan yoga. Everything is included. Like as we are going in the ladder, going higher up the ladder, going up the floors. So all the processes are included in bhakti. One can, of course, take the gradual process, begin step by step, or one can take directly to bhakti. When one, so then when one comes to bhakti, one meditates on the most beautiful form, and that is Lord Sham Sundar. God is a person, he has a beautiful form, he's the most beautiful. His color, his bodily complexion is like a cloud. His lotus-like face is effulgent as the sun. Dress is brilliant with jewels. Body, he is wearing a flower garland around his neck. And then the Brahmajyoti is coming from his body. It's his bodily luster, gorgeous luster. And then the Supreme Lord is taking different incarnations. Rama, Nishima, Varaha. He's coming. And he came himself, Krishna. 5,000 years ago, he came himself as a human being. But he's not an ordinary human being, he's God himself. He's known as Yashodananda, and this month we are celebrating this beautiful loving exchange between mother and son. Mother Yashoda, she's Krishna's mother. He's known as Krishna Govinda Vasudev. So then this is coming to bhakti. So we can see how there's a gradual elevation in consciousness. Krishna is the perfect child, perfect husband, perfect friend, and perfect master. So we are always looking for some master. We say we don't want to serve, but actually we are looking to serve someone. We are always, if we have no one to serve, we'll get a dog and serve the dog. So we are always looking to serve. So perfection of the service is when we can serve the perfect master, and that is Supreme Lord Krishna. Then to understand completely the Vedic imports, what the Veda is trying to say, we need to have faith, implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master. Equal faith in the Lord and the bona fide spiritual master. And then all the knowledge is going to be automatically revealed to us. This is coming in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. So this is Krishna saying the highest yogi. And because Krishna is speaking of the different yogas, right? In Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga. Now Krishna is saying the highest yoga. Yogi is the Bhakti Yogi. This is Krishna saying, this is my opinion. And of course, it is also supported in so many different Vedic literatures. We are hearing that Bhakti is the highest. So one should fully absorb the mind in the Supreme. Think of Krishna as the beautiful, beautiful form. This month of Damodar, one can keep meditating on this beautiful pastime of Mother Yashoda and Krishna and how she's trying to bind him and he gets conquered by her. Krishna becomes conquered by the love of his devotee. He's God himself. Who can catch him? But because Mother Yashoda wants to catch him, he allows himself to be caught by her. Bhishma Dev wanted to see Krishna break his promise. So Krishna broke his promise for the love of his devotee. Here we can see again Krishna, he loves his devotee so much. He loves Mother Yashoda. She wants to catch him. Nobody can catch him, but he allows himself to be caught by her. Nobody can bind Krishna. He allows himself to be bound by her. And he's crying. He's scared of her. Fear personified is scared of Krishna, but here Krishna is crying. So in this pastime, we can see there's so many, like Krishna's body, his form is transcendental, Satchid Ananda. He's always blissful. But in this pastime, we see he's crying. He's fearful. What's happening? He's the absolute truth. He's always speaking the truth. Here in front of Mother Yashoda, he's being the thief. What is he doing? So it's a beautiful, beautiful, loving pastime. It's a loving exchange between mother and son. Hey, questions, comments?
Nothing.
No,
No.
all clear.
Okay, we'll stop here for today. Srimad
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shla Prabhupada
Jai.
ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you.